Welcome everyone. The Flat Earth movement on YouTube has been around for at least 8 years. In that time frame, a myriad of flat earthers have published videos on YouTube, including ODD TV, who aired A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth 21 Questions and Answers on July 30th, 2016. Today we will see part 2, which consists of questions 7 through 17.
What about satellites and GPS?
As crazy as it may sound, satellites are a hoax. Have you ever wondered why there are never any damaged or fallen satellites? And why there are no satellite malfunctions due to constant heating and cooling? It's weird they don't melt in the thermosphere that's over 2,000 degrees. I find myself looking at the moon and wondering why we never see satellites pass by the moon. Did you know there are thousands of miles of fiber optic cables under the seabed that supplies 90% of the Earth's communication, internet, phones, etc.? And GPS works off of cell phone towers. It's called triangulation. Haven't you seen those really tall towers and wondered what they are? Satellite TV is just enhanced radio using ground-based towers. It's all ground-based, just like the old TV antenna. Science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke proposed the idea of geostationary satellites in 1945 in a magazine called Wireless World. And 20 years later, in 1965, they claimed to have successfully launched the first commercial geostationary communication satellite. Today, there are said to be thousands, but the odd thing is that trying to prove it only leaves you fruitless.
If trying to prove it is fruitless, then flat earthers aren't even looking. A satellite is an artificial body placed in orbit around the Earth or Moon or another planet in order to collect information or for communication. A satellite is also a celestial body orbiting the Earth or another planet like the Moon or the ISS. As far as damaged or falling satellites go, meet Skylab. Due to its decaying orbit and with no way to reboost it, Skylab fell back to Earth in the summer of 1979 over the Indian Ocean and Western Australia, scattering debris that did not burn up in re-entry as it fell. GPS stands for Global Positioning System and does not rely on triangulation from cell towers here on Earth to work, which is why it can be used out in the middle of the ocean. And satellite television dishes generally point in the same direction, usually towards the equator and at an angle that would not be conducive to getting any signal from any ground tower.
Is outer space even real?
Yes and no. What you see in the sky, as far as stars and wandering stars, also known as planets, are there. How could we deny them? We don't know what they actually are, but they are there. Now, what we are told about outer space and what it is not true at all. Everything we believe about so-called outer space is due mostly to Hollywood movies and other media, including children's cartoons. Of course, NASA propaganda is the biggest culprit. As we have already gone over, there are no pictures of Earth, and even images of all the other so-called planets are computer-generated. NASA has gone on record numerous times stating that humans can't get past low Earth orbit.
NASA's next spacecraft, already being built and tested across America, will do those things and more.
This is the spacecraft that's going to take humans to explore the solar system. It's the next big step for NASA in exploration.
Called the Orion Multipurpose Crew Vehicle, or MPCV, this next-generation spacecraft will enable America to explore beyond low Earth orbit.
As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
Plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
And unlike the previous program, we are setting a course with specific and achievable milestones. Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit.
Low Earth orbit is supposedly between 99 and 1,200 miles away. The funny thing is that they say the moon is over 200,000 miles away. How did we make it so far in the 1960s and 70s if we can't do it today? Also, the International Space Station, just like everything else brought to us by NASA, is a fake Freemasonic hoax, completely fabricated and done with special effects, models, pools, zero-G planes, and various other camera tricks.
6 years have gone by, and the same old tired shtick about space is fake and the ISS is a hoax is still being perpetuated. However, we know different, as there is video footage of the ISS with various different vehicles attached to it, as well as images of the landing site on the moon. There are also various probes that we have sent out into space. This image, dubbed the Pale Blue Dot by Carl Sagan, was taken on February 14, 1990 by the Voyager 1 spacecraft from a distance of 4 billion miles. Space deniers will forever insist that we are being lied to because, sadly, they can't grasp that we humans can accomplish such feats.
How is circumnavigation possible on a flat Earth?
Very easily. You can travel east and west directions to ultimately end up right back where you started. The face of the Earth looks similar to that of a clock. In fact, clocks were most likely designed after the true appearance of our world. If you follow a compass east for long enough, you'll make a full circuit. Same thing if you travel west long enough. As we've already gone over, the flat Earth map that was around before globes were easily converts to a globe, so everything you believe you are doing on a globe is actually taking place on a flat Earth.
Does anyone else see a problem with this for flat Earth? I do believe this actually supports a globe Earth since, this is a globe projection map, which I went over in part 1, question 1.
How come the moon is upside down in the southern hemisphere?
This is another very simple explanation. When somebody is in the northern part of the Earth, or on the northern part of the Earth, they see the moon from this angle. When somebody is on the southern part of the Earth, the moon looks like this. They're looking at it from this angle. They see it from the opposite angle, and that's all it is. Imagine you tape a picture of the moon in the center of your living room, right? Depending on where you are in the room, the moon will be seen differently. When pondering this question, keep in mind that the face of the moon never changes. On a spherical Earth, we'd expect to see other sides, but we never have.
So he was right about how we see the moon in each hemisphere, but he got it very wrong when he said, on a spherical Earth, we'd expect to see other sides, but we never have. Though the moon wobbles due to it being tidally locked to the Earth, we only see one side of it no matter where we are on the Earth.
What about the seasons?
The sun is close and small, and it circles around and above the flat Earth in a spiral pattern on the Tropic of Cancer in the northern summer months, and then down in the Tropic of Capricorn in the northern winter months. So when the sun is further away from the North Pole, right, the center of the flat Earth, it's winter in the north and summer in the south. Since the sun is smaller than we are told and closer, it makes much more sense that we experience seasons in the first place. If the sun was 93 million miles away and had a radius of over 400,000 miles, we would hardly experience temperature fluctuation as we do.
What makes the moon move in circular patterns over a flat Earth? Would the sun not have to speed up drastically while in the Tropic of Capricorn to maintain its 15 degree per hour drift? Why do we see the same phase of the moon all over the world? Would some people not see the back of the moon while others are seeing the front? There are so many more questions than answers with this one.
What about gravity?
Gravity is necessary in order for a spinning ball Earth to work. People readily believe that you can't fall off of a spinning ball that's darting through outer space at speeds that you can't even comprehend, yet they will deny how much easier it is to stay on a flat surface that doesn't move. Gravity is a scapegoat for all that cannot be explained, and it has never been proven. The reason why things fall or float is because of density and buoyancy. If something is heavier than air, it falls. If it's lighter than air, it floats. Very straightforward. Your phone is denser than the air, therefore it falls when you drop it. Everything works because of density. No need to factor in imaginary components. Quote, "The law of gravitation is said by the advocates of the Newtonian system of astronomy to be the greatest discovery of science, and the foundation of the whole of modern astronomy. If, therefore, it can be shown that gravitation is a pure assumption, and an imagination of the mind only, that it has no existence outside of the brains of its expounders and advocates, the whole of the hypotheses of this modern so-called science fall to the ground as flat as the surface of the ocean. And this most exact of all sciences, this wonderful feat of the intellect, becomes at once the most ridiculous superstition and the most gigantic imposture to which ignorance and credulity could ever be exposed." Thomas Winship, Zetetic Cosmogony.
Ah yes, gravity does not exist. It's just buoyancy and density. Seems to me that that quote from Thomas Winship was simply pure denial, which pretty much sums up the flat earther's argument of choice.
What about the Coriolis Effect?
They say that the Coriolis Effect is a result of the Earth spinning and is responsible for the deflection of an object moving above the Earth, rightward in the northern hemisphere and leftward in the southern hemisphere. The problem is that things like hurricanes and water in the sink aren't always predictable and have been known to spin both ways in either hemisphere. Also, another contradiction that proves the Coriolis effect false is the fact that no flying machine above the Earth has to account for it. If a bullet that travels 1,700 miles per hour has to account for the effect, then an airplane traveling at 550 miles per hour would definitely have to account for the effect. When you look for the answer, you'll find that we are told that since the atmosphere moves with the spin of the Earth, planes aren't affected. So why would bullets be? Especially when they go much faster than common airplanes.
Comparing bullets to airplanes is like comparing apples to oranges. Bullets are propelled forward by one initial explosion, then are at the mercy of air resistance and will eventually slow down enough and fall to the ground if they don't hit something stopping their path. Airplanes have engines that propel them forward through the air for as long as they need to fly or as long as their fuel holds out when flying.
Why can't I see infinitely far?
This is for the people that wonder why they can't see certain things that they believe they should be able to see if the earth was flat. I've been asked on numerous occasions, why can't I see Mount Everest from anywhere on earth? I've also been asked, why can't I see Spain from the east coast of America? Well, besides dirt, dust, dew, rain, fog, smog, smoke, clouds, mist, haze, snow, etc., your vision is limited by the vanishing point of your perception. Check your weather app on your phone and notice the visibility in your area.
First, no one ever assumed we could see infinitely far. Second, as I explained in part 1 of this series, since the Earth is a three-dimensional sphere with an atmosphere, you can't treat it the same as a two-dimensional piece of paper. Third, on a flat Earth, there would be no horizon. As I also explained, the horizon is the effect of curve. The quote-unquote horizon on a flat Earth would be a blur of buildings or mountains in the distance, though over oceans it would appear as though the sky were meeting the land due to the thick atmosphere giving the appearance of a horizon.
Is the flat earth a religious thing?
Yes and no. I say this because I myself am not religious. I'd rather not have faith in something, but know the facts to the best of my ability. And the facts are that the curvature and motion of the earth have never been proven. The Bible, without any doubt whatsoever, supports the earth that's fixed in place. The book of Enoch, which is biblically endorsed and most likely belongs in the Bible, describes the flat stationary enclosed earth in great detail. Many religions and civilizations preceding Judaism and Christianity support a flat and stationary earth, such as the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Mayans, the Norse, the Hindus, etc. This fantastic spinning globe earth is very new to the people of the world, yet most of us carry on as if the theory is unquestionable, and we've been conditioned to laugh when the flat earth is brought up. Whether you are religious or not, you can see the flat earth for yourself.
The answer is yes. The fact that he claims the Bible supports a flat earth makes flat earth religiously based, in my opinion. Also, the fact that he is using what he thinks ancient cultures believe the earth to be is disingenuous, as he is discounting the knowledge that humans have gained and the evidence gathered over the last 3,000 years regarding the shape of the earth.
Is the Flat Earth Society behind the resurgence of the Flat Earth?
No, the Flat Earth Society is designed as a containment unit. Gatekeepers that tell the truth about some stuff, but then lie about other things in order to make it appear ridiculous or steer you in the wrong direction. For instance, this is what FES has to say about gravity. In the Flat Earth model, gravity, rather than being a force, is the upward acceleration of the flat Earth. The Earth always accelerates upward at 1g, which is equivalent to the gravitational acceleration in the round Earth model. Like the force of gravity, the Earth's acceleration causes several commonly observed phenomena in our daily lives. If that isn't the biggest turnoff, I don't know what is. The flat Earth argument has never died. It only died down. Real flat earthers have always been among us, but it wasn't until late 2014, early 2015, when Eric Dubé started making a lot of noise about the flat earth conspiracy and got people like myself on board. It took me 10 months of research before finally accepting the truth about where we live. Thanks to the many great flat earth researchers, content creators, and activists since then, more and more people are waking up to the massive deception every day.
I tend to agree with ODD TV here. Many are waking up to the massive deception every day, which is why the interest in Flat Earth is dying down on YouTube. And I wouldn't worry about the Flat Earth movement on TikTok going anywhere.
Are all scientists, pilots, and members of the government in on it?
No, most scientists, pilots, and members of the government have been indoctrinated just as the rest of us have. When they work at their everyday job, they go about it as if the Earth is most certainly spherical. If indeed some of these people did know the Earth is flat, they most likely wouldn't even speak out about it in fear of losing their job or ruining their reputation. The average scientist goes about everything they do with the spherical Earth already factored in. For mainstream science, questioning our current model is a huge no-no. For pilots, computers do most of their work, not to take away from what they do because I personally appreciate it, and also pilots often switch out at stops, making it difficult to understand the real layout of Earth's land masses. As far as government members and politicians go, besides high-ranking officials at NASA, which isn't government at all, it's safe to assume that they are not in the know and they are not knowingly perpetrating this lie. Very few people compared to the population of the world are enlightened to the flat Earth.
Most sciences are not based on the shape of the Earth. Of course, flat earthers think education is indoctrination because they probably didn't do well in school or didn't like going to school. Stop being disingenuous. Pilots do know the layout of land masses, and if one says the Earth is flat, they're probably messing with you. This is precisely why all we can do with flat Earth is point and laugh. It has not changed one bit in its time on YouTube. Next week, the final part of this series with questions 18 through 21. Hope you will join me. Remember to like, subscribe if you haven't, comment, and share. Oh, and hit the notification bell and set it to all so you will get notified when I upload new content. If you prefer to help me financially as well, consider becoming a channel member. Just click on the join button under this video or on my channel and follow the prompts. Or consider becoming a patron through Patreon. Link is in the description below. Thank you for watching. You are all awesome. See you in the next video.